everyone and welcome! It's finally time for more Monster Hunter Portable Third because Agonia is back here.
Yeah.
And you're not too dead.
I'm more dead than yesterday, kind of, but not.
It's not in the part that counts?
Yes.
Yeah, Chandra, at least the plan is for more Monster Hunter today. Now that will run out in the very end. How long? If we, if there's going to be we're playing a bit, Agonia feels worse, I switch to something else, or if we get all 3 hours of Monster Hunter, we will see. But yeah, we are back after a bunch of big break. And I think we can say we're basically going back again. Attack. Because Rathalos have to be killed. Violently.
Yeah, we already had Deviljho.
And it didn't even give you a dragon weapon.
No, of course not. It ate all the dragon.
Ah. Then let's check, by the way, if we have everything. I need definitely one more potion. Armor skin demon drug. Good thing I checked. You should also check.
I checked.
Okay. Wait, I do have a shock trap and strength bonus. Let's bonk it. After over a week.
Yeah, don't forget. Tail,
Yeah.
head, trap. Should have waited until it turned, but whatever. Bam, bam.
Ah. I misclicked. Oh. It's not doing stuff right now? Good.
It's angry.
Yagi getting wet. Oh, by the way, I do hope the chat is readable still. I made it slightly smaller the other day. I don't think it should be too much of a difference.
You made it more modern.
No, you mean may I make it smaller?
Yeah.
Oh,
Modern means smaller. It's always too small.
I don't think that... Actually, things get bigger nowadays again.
Except the text. Text gets
Okay,
smaller.
yeah, text gets smaller. That is so stupid.
Yeah, you did it this well, so no fault.
And no, it's more like because it would else cover up half of text in how's it called? In Ghost Trick, so I made it a bit smaller. Maybe it's also making stuff better to see on the screen, but yeah. Don't worry, it will be back on, I think, Saturday. I don't know how fast we'll get through it. Maybe like 2 in 3 sessions would be probably nice, but oh yeah, we can actually go to this lovely little game so far, honestly. Should also play it at some point, Agonia.
Should I?
It's a very neat puzzle game, I would say. You're probably going to like it due to the characters and all that. Oh, nice.
Kill it. Nearly.
Your forward attack.
It's my normal attack combo.
You need to position yourself better.
No, you were way too late there. I
Oh.
didn't. No. Like I was attacking there in the second part of my combo already, and then you suddenly showed up. Like, if you want to attack, be faster. See, I'm already there.
Oh, sorry that I sometimes have a walking distance.
And you need to be closer. How else do you want to hit Rathalos with your sword? I just hope I get what I need.
It would be very good. Yeah. So I think it's going to the free. Oh, ruby!
You have the ruby.
I have a ruby.
Course.
I didn't think about anything. I had attained enlightenment, and the drop came. Never forget, any game with loot systems runs on Buddhism.
I know.
Yes, you need to attain enlightenment and release yourself from all earthly desires.
Can I say that the Buddhists are kind of stupid?
Why?
Because they're like, hey, you get endlessly reincarnated. Let's try to stop that.
Okay, but you need to keep in mind that was still. By the way, you're not getting mauled. Good.
I get honey, that's what I get.
Well, I think the Buddha just like.
Well, the Buddha got enlightenment, but still, like, the Buddhists came up with this whole law about reincarnation, and then we're like, yeah, we should try to stop doing that. Like, even if they were right, that's just a stupid goal.
I mean, okay, I need to be clear here. The Buddhists and also, by the way, the Indians and stuff, where it came from, do not believe that life is suffering. It's just that...
I never said that.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you get reincarnated all the time. Fuck!
Yeah, you should listen to what I'm
Why did you...
saying.
Okay, no.
It targeted you, not me.
I was more like, why did you run to the honey again? That seemed like it...
Stop thinking. We were talking about Buddhism, remember?
Yeah, look, the cycle of reincarnation is just...
That already seems like you're not addressing it.
Okay. Okay, then I do not get what you said.
It was very simple, so no.
Wait a second. I mean, I know you said it's kind of stupid to try and escape the cycle of reincarnation.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, but like also you need to keep in mind that was made during a time where life was a bit harder than today.
Life is still hard today, depending on where you live. I'm still against it. Because it doesn't matter, sooner or later you get reincarnated into something better. And if you're essentially immortal, one shit life or 10,000 don't mean much.
Yeah, it's clear I do not understand Buddhism based on my lack of understanding why they would want to leave the cycle of reincarnation. Well, again, the thing about Buddhism was that it was basically created in a very caste-oriented society during times where, well, life was kind of shit. I'm not gonna put it lightly. Even when you were nobility, okay? You will lose people. You will lose children. You will like children on the in the child bed. All of that. Old times were not nice.
Yeah.
And
I know.
And to a degree, the point was also that, you know, it doesn't guarantee that you even are a human. Because, like,
Yes.
if you go
I know.
and yeah, because you know, for example,
You could also
being
become an ant, but you aren't an ant for
Yeah,
very
but
long.
you-
Become ant because ants don't live long.
you know what's a very common reincarnation though? Dog.
Yeah. So
And dogs back then had it very bad.
unless they were reincarnated somewhere else. But yes,
Yeah, and the point was that even if you don't remember all the hardships, okay, you will feel them. That the longer you reincarnate, the more your past lives weigh down on you. Like, if you ever, you could even say that this is kind of an explanation for depression.
probably.
But also,
I still think it's kind of stupid. It's like time moves forward, things get better in the long run. Why would I stop wanting to be reincarnated? No.
because, okay, and this is why I will say the concept of karma has been completely distorted in the West. Because if
I'm
you're.
not,
No,
we're not talking about karma.
karma is essential to understanding Buddhism, though.
Has anyone ever said karma in this conversation? Except
No,
you?
I need to bring it up because, okay,
No,
why would
you
you.
don't need to bring it up. We're talking about something else right now.
Okay, just so you know, one of the key. Yes, the world gets better. That's true, okay? But
It could also blow up, but yeah.
yes, but crucially in Buddhism, okay, one of the main concepts of karma is balancing. Do you have a trap?
Yeah, of course I have.
Okay. And that is actually very, very critical to understanding why Buddhism is like that. Fully capture to title says Rattlers Spunky, so fully expect you to capture and breed Rattlers. Yeah, but only. You know what? Now we're gonna force them into cute little ref girls. Sorry, this is a lesbian
This is
channel.
Monster Hunter. I don't think they will do that. Okay, possibly they could do it for science, but they will also let them fight in the arena against hunters for blood sports because that's what they do. Illegally, but they do it.
Okay, but the thing I want to point out is, okay, no matter how much civilization advances, because that's also a thing they knew back then.
Yeah, of course
Okay.
they knew.
It's the crucial thing is that karma in the original idea is basically the idea that the universe balances itself. So if something good happens to you, okay, then something equally bad will also happen to you. Meaning that if you have a good life, that will be followed up by an equally bad life.
Okay, but I'm pretty neutral about most things.
Yeah, it's just like, look, even if some
So I'm already balanced. Great.
stop. Ah.
I have a medulla.
Oh, okay. That means you can at least make the weapon. I think.
Yeah.
I've been playing Palo, so I have a creature breeding chain. Oh yeah. I mean, I will just say, breeding season is actually a real thing in Monster Hunter. So
Until they forgot about it.
until they wanted to retcon it, the cowards. So that's how the rubies look like, by the way, like trank bombs.
Yeah. Rubies, trank bombs, same thing. Throw them at monsters. You're trying to think of something funny right now.
Trank bombs? Bro?
No,
Lemon.
no.
It's just my friend as long as you have rats full of rubies. I'm so sorry. Breeding season got red cut. Okay, so I said this before, but basically in Monster Hunter Dose, the second one, they introduced a season system, which was basically because Monster Hunter Dose / Frontier is an online game. That every day it cycles to a new season. There's a cold season, there's a warm season, and there is a breeding season. Which, is kind of like relatively reasonable.
Cycle of life.
It's a cycle in that world they have. It's just, it's warm in some seasons with a lot of food. It's cold sometimes with less food. And then you have like the one season where the big wyverns are all breeding. That's a thing. Breeding season is something that happened. And then they just kind of stopped using it.
And then Wilds pretended it wasn't.
And Wilds was suddenly like, oh, each area has 3 seasons again, which weren't really seasons because they changed like fucking daily or so. And they didn't even change daily, like in universe they changed daily, so. But then they're like, oh no, there's no breeding season, like cowards. You had breeding season in the game. I have fucking screenshots of logging into Frontier and getting greeted with the introduction that it's breeding season.
Day or night. Day or night.
Yes.
Because that's what it
So, and then in the top corner there stood breed night. The most important night. Yeah. So yeah, they had breeding seasons, they just decided to never mention breeding season again, the cowards. Okay.
So, yeah. You wanted to tell me why endlessly stopping endlessly reincarnating is still a good idea in the Buddhist framework.
Isn't, I said.
No, I was the one who said it's stupid to try to stop reincarnating.
Yeah, they want, in the Buddhist framework, you want to stop reincarnating because, again, you can have the best life, but then you're guaranteed to have the worst life. But if you have basically a balanced life, you will only have a string of lives where you have good parts, but then also crushingly bad ones. And
yeah, but I have more.
Yeah, the thing is just that, and that's by the way a very key thing. In Buddhism, mastering a craft and finding enjoyment isn't seen as something bad. It's just.
Have I said anything about that?
Okay.
No.
Okay. The point is just that
you're talking with someone else, I think.
Sorry. Basically, Buddhism bases on the same concept as what we have in the West of like, how would you deal with immortality? As in, like, it just goes on and on and on and on and it never stops. And that is why.
That way.
Yeah. And that is also why, sometimes you will just have a horrible situation because in the previous life something good happened to you and now the universe wants to just basically.
And I said something which you aren't addressing because you apparently aren't listening to me.
It's. Okay, look. Okay, look. I know what you said cannot be addressed because the problem here is. Okay? I do think Buddhism is wrong. Every kind of. I do think religion itself is wrong.
That's not the point. I'm talking about the Buddhist framework.
Yeah, look, the problem of the Buddhist framework only really works when you live in...
The problem works.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Another stand.
No, I want to
Yes.
say Buddhism only really works, okay? If you kind of live in a shit country. I don't want
situation.
a time or situation. Exactly. It's not something where I will say you can actually apply it to most things because, well, it's simply not that. It simply falls apart the moment you have like a bit of a better life. Actually, I mean, there is a reason why.
Technically, it only falls completely apart as soon as the standard of living globally rises.
Yeah,
Which it still has to do. Like, you could still get a very, very shitty life.
yeah.
The good thing is you will die pretty fast.
But I mean, what I'm saying here is probably self-evident because as much as I'm going to, as much as we're currently talking about Buddhism, I think there is a very big elephant in the room that we need to address, and that is the fact that Buddhism is kind of a weird surviving religion from the time. It basically only survived because it got absorbed into so many other religions, but not as the core framework. Like, real Buddhists do not exist anymore, really. There are only very small populations and, revivals in the West due to the hippie era, but Buddhism is just not a popular religion.
I know.
I do try to, but the problem is like, even if you believe it, the problem is just, it's a belief system. It will just clash with the fact that, okay, before we embark here, okay? The problem with Buddhism is that it's extremely, as you kind of point out, very close to the whole life is misery idea. And that is, in some form, a thing that, yes, it hippies are bad people cosplaying as good people, and punks are good people cosplaying as bad people. I mean, the original hippies were definitely more different due to in that regard, but
There were also cult leaders and stuff.
yeah, there's a lot of things that changed over the generations back then. It's just there's a whole different topic I'm not gonna go into now. But the thing about Buddhism is just it basically gained traction during a time in India where life was kind of shit. But even if you nowadays look at it, at the history, Buddhism always competed with like a Hinduism, which ultimately won out, and later competed with Islam, which, and I need to point out, Islam, in its very basis, is just a better religion in terms of its core mindset, which is also why basically all post-Jewish religions got so much traction, because as dumb as it sounds, Christianity and Islam, in comparison to all the other religions, not really doom and gloom. A lot
They
of other
don't need
ones
to be, at least.
yeah, this is also basically which you can also see that even nowadays when people are like, look, I'm a pagan, and then they just describe Jesus. They talk about Odin, but they describe Jesus. Because gods back in the day were the wrath of nature that humans were at the whims of. Christianity introduced the idea that at the very least, maybe there is one God that actually likes you, even if he was also one of the bad ones. That there is a that
he
there
likes
is
you. He likes you, but he also kind of grounds all of humanity because he fucked up, even though he's all-knowing. But
Also, by the way,
change that.
the concept of forgiveness is so integral in Christianity and also Islam, that it just attracted so many people, because
Yeah.
I know we joke about nowadays, but the thing is, which by the way evangelicals rolled back, but the core idea of Christianity is that you can actually be forgiven for your sins if you put in the work. And that
How
is
much work depends on the specific type you believe in, but yeah.
But yeah, basically this idea of Buddhism, to gain enlightenment is something that people generally subscribe to, because like even in China, the idea of becoming a god, like ascending, was already there. So the Buddha was just another one that did it on one specific way. But like, yeah, Buddhism as it is nowadays is just that, that the core concept of forgiveness has been discarded by most people. Yeah, it's ironically a core Christian tenet and a tenet of Islam. And I just want to point out, Buddhism, this is why Buddhism spread east, but never west. Because to the west you had like a lot of very entrenched big religions that just, I'm going to say it very mildly, simply were better in their core ideology to a degree to the people at the time, because the idea of
I think
you can be
it's
forgiven.
Probably more precise to say they were easier to believe in general.
Yeah. And also like
because it, not in a sense it was more believable, but in a sense of it was an easier worldview to adopt, and it was easier to practice.
I mean, this still got corrupted and yada yada, but in the core sense of Christianity, that they basically said you don't need to mutilate your body. The whole circumcision is actually like, that was a huge ideological debate back in the day. And the Christians landed on, no, you don't need to do that. It's kind of irrelevant. And also, the thing is, yeah, you can fuck up in life, but if you turn your life around, you can still, gain access to heaven.
Which they didn't define very well. Which way we had then the whole, how do you call Ablass brief in English? It was
Ablass brief, basically,
you could buy absolution.
Absolution letters, yeah.
Yeah, you could buy them. People were also like, if they had it real bad, that they killed themselves until they invented the tenet of killing yourself is bad.
Also, another big thing I want to point out: hell isn't is for the sinners, the irredeemable. That is actually a very big thing to keep in mind. That
put that after the concept of hell came up
later,
because
there was
the concept we have now is mostly from Dante.
Yeah, but even the older one was was more about, if you were irredeemable, you didn't you go there. That absolution granted to Crusaders, so they could rape and pillage without resist. Yeah, like, look, I'm not saying it's perfect, but the thing is just like,
it's a religion. A religion presupposes you believe in shit you have no business believing in.
Yeah.
And if you believe in one thing that's obviously not true, what's stopping you from believing other things that aren't true?
Yeah. But yeah, crucially, Buddhists basically never really spread east. They had that one big kingdom in India, which also bent the rules so hard to even stay Buddhist and, attack other people. But yeah, there's a reason why Buddhism nowadays just got absorbed with a lot of local religions to the east that already had a lot in common and just absorbed ideas, but basically dropped the whole, reincarnation is bad concept. Like, they rather made it so that
hustle in this life, get a better one next time.
No, not only that, like, I mean, even in some Taoist principles in China, for example, reincarnating just means,
can we start the quest?
Okay, you can try again. And that's... Why is my controller now off? Oh, wait, I think. Now. There we go. I was thinking of the courage of forgiveness occurred in Christianity and did not get better, just got bad in different ways, like just ditching forgiveness whole cloth. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not that the whole what is what in Christianity. Too much talking about heavy stuff, not enough monster bonking. That is actually very correct. Let's bonk some more monsters.
Yes.
It's just the fact that
you can talk and criticize things while bonking.
yes. I just want to really say that yes, there is a reason Buddhism was just not even popular in India for a long time. But I don't think we need to talk about the Jain and how they are basically had the same fate as Buddhism, just worse. More Rathalos to greed.
I mean, you kind of put it into a more heavy subject section. I was just saying, like, if reincarnation exists, why bad? It's all I did.
You know what? Sorry, I kind of want to talk about that because I don't think it's always touched upon well, but look, you're not the first person to realize that. Even spawns of
Yeah,
Buddhism
there are like
realize
8
that.
billion. No, well, 8 billion in the long number system. 8 million in the short. Other way around. 8 million in the long number system. 8 billion in the short number system. Right now, and a lot of more people before that. I don't think like 99% of my thoughts are original.
Yeah. Buddhism catching on the West is mostly a consequence of guilt becoming a core part of many sects of Christianity rather than forgiveness. Not completely wrong. I mean, look, there is a reason also to a degree why veganism caught on to a degree, because, you know, this is why I mentioned Jainism, because Jainism was like the original vegan religion. It is to a degree just like, oh god, the world is bad, what can I do to make it better? And this isn't like, you know, oh, is this horrible, or I'm criticizing life, so it's just like, you do you, but there is a fact that it's also, you know, basically becoming less nowadays, because the guilt is, well, kind of gone to a degree from a lot. You know, the more, you know, class consciousness actually erupts. The more class consciousness rises and you realize, wait, I didn't fuck up the world, the billionaires did. The more you're like, wait, why am I even restricting myself just because some rich people told me I should? You know? Yeah, that is completely fair. Like, I don't have a big problem. Like, I also knew someone in from school. He just didn't hate it because he didn't like the taste. Happens. Look, it's there's a difference between a lifestyle choice and how a lot basically tacked on a lot of like a lot of social topics and or, you know, social or economic topics onto it. Like, for example, oh, you can an exploitation if you just don't eat meat anymore, which is like, do we really want to talk about how soy and shit is actually produced in South American nations? Do we want to do that? Do we want to unpack that topic now? And then it's always like, yeah, but there and that. Yeah, no, sorry, most soy and stuff is produced in very, very cheap labor countries, and a lot of the same as with every other thing. Usually it's it is used to fill up something from, like, when you're in Europe, from a European market, like for example lentils. I think lentils are actually produced a lot in Europe, but soy, for example, not. They always fill it up with cheap export stuff. It's just, if you say, if you fill certain margins from one country, you can say it's from that country. You don't need to say it's from the other ones too. Between the difference between the dietary choice and the vegans in Scott Pilgrim comic. I mean, they got superpowers, but that's a different topic. Yeah, it's just the thing is just there is definitely an ideological part going on, but, like, I know people get defensive about that, and it's just like, what you eat is not my problem. It's just, there is a reason you had a societal rise and fall of it with during a phase of strong a rise during strong individualism in neoliberalism, and a fall as as the social consciousness grew, because suddenly the personal choice literally just became irrelevant for rightfully, because I mean, there were, for example, some people threw the claim around, if everyone stopped eating meat, we'd solve climate change, and no, you can't say that.
Oh, you can, but you're wrong.
Yeah, that's just wrong. It's just, and it's coming from PETA. Like, we all agree that we hate PETA. Even vegans hate PETA. It's just, I'm throwing a down bomb. Anyway. Yeah. You cut it while I was throwing shit.
Another medulla. Now that I don't need them anymore, I get them.
If we stop using plastic straws, we will solve industrial plastic pollution. I mean, the whole plastic debate is like, it's a whole different story, because, like, on one hand, I will say we need to reduce plastic output just in general. I think that is an...
Also kind of depends on which plastic are we even talking about.
Yeah, I think it should not be,
But yeah, in general, sure. Neurotoxic, yeah. Not toxic anymore.
Be that I'm toxic.
By the way, since we talked about plastic right now, didn't they found bacteria in the big plastic raft on the ocean
That ate plastic?
that ate at least certain types of plastic? What happened
Yeah.
with that? Have we?
I don't know.
Did some research on this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, also, the thing is that we now have the funny part of, remember that there were also studies that found out that, whoops, actually all the studies on microplastic have to be redone, because turns out they were contaminated with microplastics. Yeah, apparently if you use plastic, tools, syringes and stuff during testing for microplastic, you contaminate your stuff with microplastic. And
So that's technically good news, because that means there's less microplastic than we thought.
probably, but also that means we just don't know how much microplastic is actually around there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bad news.
I mean, in general, I will say reducing plastic should be a big thing because, like, it's based off of oil, and while I know there are certain there are, like, certain uses, I think we need to be mindful that, especially, like, for example, in the medical sphere, holy shit, is a lot of plastic just okay. Not only plastic, but also like for example, scissors and stuff. Scissors, and a lot of metal stuff for surgeries by law are required to be used and thrown away.
Which would be fine if we had workable recycling methods.
Yeah, but we usually don't. There's like usually not a recycling thing. It's just like we live in such a way. I think the thing about plastic is more like we live in such a wasteful society, and we have not even found a method of, you know, recycling plastic. We have not found a good way to recycling fucking metal. Yeah, some, but they are also not useful for everything, and even then they're not always
used on a grand scale.
Yeah, shorthand, I do think we should look more into like reusable plastic and reusable metals, because, like, for example, sterilization is actually a thing. We could use those if we optimized systems, but like, it's cheaper to not do that for hospitals, which is fucking wild in my opinion.
It's certainly always cheaper to not recycle, because, well, a recycling industry needs to be there, active, improving the process to make it cheap in the first place.
It's recycled.
So unless you actually incentivize it through legislature, it won't happen.
Yeah, the thing that we should maybe do to a big degree, because
big maybe. It targeted me, not you.
Yeah, but I was also standing there. Sorry, I couldn't see it.
Should have just run.
Ah, fuck.
Bye bye.
But yeah, I mean, the whole plastics from plants is a thing, but again, just for certain types, and not all of them are really applicable, ironically, so. Anyway,
Yeah, maybe we should put in our resources in research and not, I don't know what we're doing with them actually, except pointless wars and AI data centers.
yeah. And even Lego overprices them to hell and back, but that's a different topic. I mean, yeah, the plant-based ones, they definitely do Lego and 3D printing. That's fair. Like, there are enough applications where I think we should use them, but, like, again, I think we need to just reduce waste in general in our society, because we are too accustomed to throwing things away.
Wasn't there a law within the EU discussed to forbid to companies to destroy unsold clothing?
I think they are planning on something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that would be one thing.
Flies, I think, to the pipe again.
I check. No, it's here. It flew in a circle.
I mean,
Oh. Uh-oh. I'm so used to it. We need another,
yeah, I
I'm falling!
have a trap. Don't worry.
Yeah, but we need to get it down first.
Yeah, I know. Let me do it.
Bonk it hard. You think it's capturable?
No, I don't know. Also angry right now, so
Yeah, it can be angry and then die. It's like not an argument.
it could. Yeah, I think it might be. Let me bonk it one more time.
How about you just
Need a trap?
put a trap down and then you bonk it while I'm throwing trank bombs.
Yeah, okay. Trap is down.
Yeah, you
No. Nope. Okay, I guess we have to kill it now.
unluckily, yeah.
It just also didn't feel right, but
I don't like to say this, but you just had a lot less damage output than last time. It's like 0.1.
yeah,
I don't trust your feeling because you fought the thing like 50 times now. And you still don't get that if it's idling and you need to run, you can't do a level 3 charge. Don't worry. You still have a chance in the mission. Stay.
it's flying again. Okay, then let's go to the drive.
Yeah.
I think it was pushed that for that you should get rid of things that don't bring you joy. Oh, that was also like misrepresented to hell and back. Actually, like there was this show on Netflix like a few years ago with kind of a Japanese celebrity, Marie Kondo, about like how to
I think
clean up
I
your
find
room.
the positive not question, but like the whole sentence of like get rid of things that don't bring you joy is very what do you call it? Unprecise.
Yeah,
Like things don't bring me joy all the time. Should I get rid of all things?
I mean,
Like where's the cutoff point?
the thing is that's also why she was taken heavily out of context. It's like it was about people cleaning up that hoard too much, and the fact that people keep a lot of things that they do not need, and to does that bring you joy was basically her just abstracting the idea of, do you use it? Is this something you like? Is this
Is it something you only keep because of you have the feeling you need to?
yes, exactly. That was the thing. It's like, for example, she didn't say throw out your Gunpla collection or the unbuilt Gunpla. She was saying, think about, will you actually ever build something or use something and enjoy something, or is it just something you have because? That was her point, but that got abstract because we're talking about the internet, where snapshotting something and distorting the message is kind of very, very, very normal, sadly. Like,
I can get that for people who have like problems throwing things away that they
yeah,
probably don't need but can't do it on their own.
honestly, I do not even know where that came from, because like even Marie Kondo was like talked about it, and she was like, no, people should keep collections if they love it, like, because she actually she knows that they have emotional value for people that you cannot replicate for everyone. It's just, again, the whole, there is also stuff sometimes that you generally do not need, and you might need to, take another thought about it, which also didn't mean throw it away. It was also, for example, give it to someone else, sell it, stuff like that. But hey, it was a woman that got prominent, and it said something that pissed some people off because some assholes misconstructed it, and welcome internet. I don't even. Oh yeah, obviously there are definitely some. It's just I wouldn't say minimalism is something that that came with her. It just was exacerbated, and I think her line about this does not bring joy was just like a very big thing that was misconstructed for that, which is just, I don't know, collections are cool. Like, look, I think there's an equally big movement for people nowadays. Like, so many people get into Warhammer. People love, collecting and painting useless little plastic figurines or Gunpla because it's fun. Like, being at my parents, I just realized recently.
There's another medulla.
Okay, you have the weapon already upgraded, I think.
Not yet, but I have everything I need.
But you need so much dung for. Just in case, you can never have enough dung.
Yeah, mostly for the fields.
Yeah, it's just one of those, get it while you can. Yeah. I think my grandpa had a pretty big book collection. Not even like the biggest one. But it was kind of cool going through them again. I definitely need to check because my grandma like spread it out between you know, the basement and the attic, and I think my great grandfather's books are on the attic. But I wasn't there. But yeah, my grandpa had like a lot of books. Hey, the books go out of print before I can. I get you. I do want to maybe get a few more, but like, then again, my grandpa had like a lot of old books. I took one with me, and I still want to get through it because it's the complete works of Edgar Allan Poe, and I'm very much looking forward to reading through that. That sucks. Necromunda. Yeah. Oh, I have like 1 or 2 old Warhammer books. Yeah, that's always kind of sucks. I mean, I'm still happy I have my old book, my old edition, so. I still want to get like one adventure book series for these are actually one day, but those are hard to get, ironically, because you don't get book 1. 3 is like available, 2 also, but 1 no. I can't do that adventure with friends when I'm not having the first one. We have 140k Rogue Trader, 2 Rhythms of Case books, and the first bound version of Necromunda rules. That's neat. I mean, I have, I still have my good old 4th edition rulebook for Warhammer 40k. I was actually interested in like the TTRPG at some point, but never got it, ironically. Which is weird, considering I'm a big fan. Agonia likes it. We both like TTRPGs, but we never got the Warhammer 40k rules.
What would you even play there?
Rogue Traders. Inquisitors and stuff.
That's probably why.
I mean, would that be bad?
It's not bad, but probably not the thing we are most interested in.
It's neat, I'd say. You can definitely do a lot with that. I mean, you can even play Chaos People. So that's actually kind of fun.
What a chaos.
Which Chaos God, though?
I think, lore-wise, the smart choice is to not worship
Chaos?
any one of them. Like, just chaos in general. If you have to go down the path of chaos, then
It's kind of interesting to think about the fact that so much about chaos is a lot of people that are aligned with chaos, even in the traitor legions, are more aligned with chaos because, well, they don't really have another choice. Like, for example, a good example is, like, for example, people don't understand Abaddon. Like Abaddon is technically the biggest, one of the biggest problems to the galaxy.
Yeah.
And he is working with Chaos, but only because he can't really work with everyone else. Because the thing is, even Chaos does not want him to succeed. Because, you see, Abaddon is basically, he fought alongside Horus, Horus lost, he saw what the galaxy became, and he just decided that, wait, this sucks! All of it sucks, everyone sucks in here. We need to burn it down so it can start from zero. That's his goal. He looked at the Warhammer 40k galaxy and decided, this all sucks.
I think for him it was more the Imperium specifically, but yes.
No, it's not only Imperium, everything. Even Chaos he hates, to a degree. He is not really a big fan of the Chaos Gods. Let me wonder, as it's more roleplay style game with enough remove that you're not embodying someone living in that horrible world of Warhammer 40k. I mean, you still kind of live in it because it's... But like, the thing about 40k is just like... Every planet is different. Something can be on there, you know? Okay. That's a big thing about it.
Yeah, you can have a nice planet.
Nice planet, I'd say. You're getting, yeah, I know. It definitely is a different dynamic, and I get why it's popular. I just like I kind of like the fact that 40k is fucked. But it's also definitely, like, I think the irony about 40k being this fucked is, ironically that it definitely, kind of exposes people that just recently came to the hobby because they always have the, well, X is actually the good guys, and like, no. Is just hungry? You know what? That is not even wrong. I mean, I know you're joking, but like, look, one of the key things about 40k that people don't get is that everyone is awful. All of them. There is not a good person. Like for example, Tyranids literally is just like, ironically, if they succeed, they just kill another galaxy we don't even know about. It's horrible. Like every faction is horrible if they win. For a lot of them, it's just, at some point, I think 40k is to a degree just looking at, who do you align with more? Like, I see, for example, a lot of people saying the Tau are the good guys, and like, no, they are not. They are so not. Like, I mean, I see how superficially you can see that, but the Tau are a ruthless empire, similar to the Imperium of Mankind. Also, they are genociding the humans. That's not even me making up. That's like a thing since, 4th edition. Malstrain Gene says subverted gangs gives an interesting story option as the Malstrain is scaring off the Tyrants. Interesting. That seems to be a new thing. Didn't hear about that, but yeah, it's so funny when I hear people say the Tau are the good guys, and I'm like, it's kind of an interesting. I think that's the more interesting thing to talk about, because like, you need to, like, as a human, you would need to overlook the elephant in the room that the Tau are genociding everyone they deem to be potentially to be more than them. Like, that's the thing. Yeah, there are a lot of humans that would join the Tau, but the Tau are then like, fuck, if we actually take over the galaxy, there might be more humans than Tau in our empire, so how about we just sterilize them? And that's actually that's what happens with humans in the end. The Tau would just genocide the humans.
Most of them, at least.
But here's the thing. You can make the absolutely valid suggestion that maybe the humans in 40k should be genocided. Because they're kind of awful. And that's true. The Imperium of Mankind is kind of awful, even though it's like the one options, humans have to a degree.
But then again, it's also just awful because, well, bad things happen and the humans of today in 40k don't have really
options.
The option or the education to actually not be awful.
And I think the most interesting storyline that is currently going on with the Empire of Mankind that people seem to be ignoring is the fact that Call and Gilliman basically are hell-bent on dragging the Imperium of Mankind out of the dumpster fire that they are. They're actively doing tech heresy. Just because they're like, this is better for the Imperium. Like, the Imperium is that religious, monster that is shambling along. And they're just trying to violently yank it back to something better. And I'm just going
to the atheistic, we kill everything else we find empire.
You know what? I don't know, because Gilliman kind of hated that to a degree. Again, Gilliman is like the thing you wish the Emperor was to a degree, But enough about that. It's just like they are generally trying to make the Imperium a better place to a degree, and I think the more interesting story about that is not, is this the Empire Redemption arc? It's more, listen, where will they fail? Where will this all go horribly wrong? Because Warhammer 40k will not end. No, it's I just I saw a bit of chat. Yeah, Gilliman's goal is impossible. Even if they're trying, and I think they will probably have some successes before everything goes horribly wrong. And his methods are, I mean, yeah, his methods are horrible. And then we go back to the whole. You could argue, does he really have a choice? Because he has to wield an apparatus in a galaxy where everything wants to kill everyone constantly, and part of it is like legitimately a horrific religious cult that he despises, that hate him for existing, but they know they have to work together. I'm not even joking about that. Like, the Sororitas hate Guilliman for what he is. Because, in their eyes, Space Marines and Primarchs are just mutants. And Guilliman hates them because he's just like, you're just a bunch of religious fanatics with no clear sight of how anything should actually work. Anyway, again, the Imperium of Mankind is a shitfest, and I think the irony about Guilliman returning and taking the helm is that it just got worse, and that actually makes it very interesting, because again, it being worse just makes the whole story more interesting to a degree, because before that it was, you know, an unwieldy religious apparatus, and now it's an unwieldy religious apparatus that has basically constant infighting with their head. Yep, I know. It's so funny to me when people then are like, oh, but the Sisters of Battle, aren't they female space marines? They are not.
They're just humans.
They're just literally humans in power armor, and they are something completely different to... Okay, it's not here.
Yeah, of course not. It didn't fly there.
Go then. Really? That's unique.
You have seen the shadow. Come on. You had the 3 or the 7. It was also exhausted in this fight, so also different.
Yeah, very weird. A probably a manifestation of the warp as miracles of fate. Yep. It's... I like this, the Sororitas for what kind of a clusterfuck they are. But like, I kind of hate the fact that people just then treat them as just normal beings and not like, no. Those are turbo-religious nuns. I'm very sorry. Please stay a little bit on lore, at least. A tiny bit. But yeah, no, the thing is just, they hate Guilliman because, again, in their eyes, Space Marines are mutants. Period. They're not humans. So...
They're technically right.
Technically they're right, but... It's still funny considering they're, you know, worshipping the Emperor of Mankind.
Who made them?
Who made them in his image. And they shall know no fear. But, oops. Then again... You also have, like, if you look at the Codex Astartes, you also have things like the Black Templars, who are just so far removed from what Space Marines are supposed to be. And, you know, other chapters who just never understood what Guilliman wanted, because, like, some input just didn't work.
Oh, it's off.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't pick a new trap. Stupid.
Neither did I.
You're supposed to be the smart one of us.
Yeah, but I'm also kind of ill. And tired. And warm. And cold. Really depends. Like,
It's a very... I had kind of pop and manifestation of purple and all miracles of fates. I had kind of that because they are an army that can not be a force of men of arms. They force femme all male members of a group of cis and trans women. You know what? You can definitely see the Sororitas at that, but like, I mean, I think the Sororitas are actually a very interesting faction because I think none clash as much with just the fact that in the last 10 years there was an influx of a lot of new people that kind of wanted to just have like the female army, but you know, not with the whole, oh, the female army is also like kind of a persiflage in of itself of the Space Marines. But yeah. Because like,
are you just following me or?
yeah, I'm following you.
Yeah, don't.
The woman, oh, you mean the Custodes? Oh yeah, that's the funniest shit, honestly. When there was you know, when that discussion came up, I was just like, what the fuck? Just so you know, the thing about the Custodes and the whole discourse about that is just like, when people literally asked me, oh, what do you think about the Custodes having women? I just was like, the Custodes were a thing? What? Because, like, you need to keep in mind, the Custodes were like a line. Quite literally just one fucking line in the rules prior to, I don't know, 9th edition or so? It's not long ago, actually. And then Games Workshop just decided, you know, the assumption was basically, oh yeah, it's probably Space Marines because, you know, they're the best. So probably we have Space Marines. Well, yeah, but no, okay. I'm going to just to be very specific. We did not know what the Custodes were prior to a few years ago. They just didn't exist. The concept of the Custodes existed, okay? That's the thing, they were mentioned in a book, like in the rule book, but they had like one line saying there is the guard, you know, the personal bodyguard of the Emperor protecting him on the Golden Throne. That's a thing. Yeah, but like, I mean, look, we're not talking about first edition, that was non-canon during second edition. So, like, the moment we talk about stuff from first edition, it's just, like, a lot of shit doesn't make sense anymore because it's just not even canon anymore since decades. But yeah, the Custodes were just not a thing. Which is so funny when then people can be like, oh, why are there women in the Custodes? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Did they now? They just basically went like, no, the Custodes are something different. I came in with first edition. Yeah, look, the thing is just, the Custodes basically were reduced to nothing after first edition. I think there were even some editions, like I think 6th or so, where they didn't even get, they weren't even mentioned. like that's what we're talking about here when people are like, oh, what are the Custodes? Until, you know, they made them a full faction, we didn't know, and then they basically made it so that nope, the Custodes are just their own line of super soldiers. To the point, like, even making a whole point, because like, how is it called again? We need to kill it anyway, right?
Yeah.
But it's on 7 probably. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that, you know, everyone just assumed, oh, the Custodians are probably Space Marines, but then it's turned, now they just were like, nope. The thing with one line where you just assumed shit because it never specified what they were are in fact their own breed of super soldiers and came from a wholly different line, and they are just like the one small group because they are so hard to make, and like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. This was just kind of the very funny things to me when people were like, oh, can female Custodes exist? The answer is, I don't fucking know. They never specified them. It's just that's the dumb shit you need to sometimes deal on the internet with people. Yeah, artisanal super soldiers then rather than mass produced, and it's probably one of those things that people also forget, that female Custodes were always a thing. Like when I looked up like interviews with the guy that wrote them, he, like, even before the material came out, he like explicitly said he wanted to make female Custodes. It's like, I'm sorry, this was girls with an announcement. Soldor, the island from Thomas the Tank Engine. Sorry, misspells are funny. I will just say that. But yeah, that's yeah, don't worry. Oh, I think it's
It's dying, yeah. It tends to.
There we go. But yeah, I get it. They just basically made them, they made the Custodes into like, they are artisanal, they are like something different, and like, we had like confirmation about that, because like, I think Call was talking, I keep forgetting his name. It's a traitor marine that also like made Space Marines, and look, the irony is, they basically dropped already that he already made female Space Marines. The only reason he's not doing them is he thinks Space Marines are a literal dead end. He's literally like, nope, you can't actually take more out of the Space Marines to make like better humans. They kind of suck. And he was like, wow, the Primaris Marines are impressive. How the fuck did you do that? It's like, were you able to like squeeze so much out of an empty tube? And he literally said, no, the Custodes are like the next step actually. So, you know what? That's just 40k. Like, I mean, look, the Sisters of Battle are horribly, yeah, Space Marines are developmental dead end. Yep, the Primaries are just like the last hurrah, to be honest. But like, yeah, it's they're bad people, and everyone is bad. And you know, at some point, you just sit down and are like, who has the most drip, and who do I want to field in terms of strategy? Like, look, when you say this is why the Tyranids are the good guys, I have an Orc army. Orcs are just like, let's have fun. Give them some crumpin'. Like, yeah. It's just one of those, look, people are just, but then again, it's not that the whole who are the good ones in Warhammer debate is basically also fueled by the whole, especially American idea of being morally good. And I'm like, sorry, none of them are. You can make a good argument, in my opinion, for nearly every single faction for why you run them and think you like them more. And like, even for the Space Marines, there are like very good reasons to say I think they might be the good guys, quote unquote, like, you know, or the best that they are. But like, but the reality is just everyone sucks at 40k, and everyone has a valid reason, because it's just it's a horrible scenario, it's a horrible universe, it's a horrible
Craftworld Eldari.
Oh, oh my god.
They did not murder Thug Slanesh into existence.
Yeah, but like, oh my god, if the Craftworld Eldari, ooh, god, I like the Eldari though, they're cool. Yeah, Eldari faction is the bits of Craftworlds and others. Yeah, there are new ones now. Look, I actually stopped paying that much attention to how many sub stuff they have now, because again, I'm from simpler times and I'm like, I have orcs and they're my orcs and orcs are orcs. And now it's like, oh yeah, you have like Eldari on dinosaurs. I'm like, cool.
I guess.
But didn't we already have Imperial people on dinosaurs?
Yeah, see, they had the dinosaurs lying around, so...
Also, you can reuse models from fantasy. It's fine. I'm like, actually, like, it's good that... it's so funny that people are like, you know, oh no, they always forget about the Eldari, and then the Eldari still get some shit, and it's like...
Yeah, but it's not...
Yeah, I know, but they brought them back, is what I mean.
Okay.
I mean, you know, the dinosaurs on Eldari dinosaurs were a thing in first edition, but they brought them back. But yeah, it's still kind of like interesting.
I think I'm getting a bit tired.
Okay, so that we would have 1 more hour, but if you want to stop here, that's also fine. Okay?
Yeah.
Then I do something different for the time. Okay?
Yeah, I think I kind of have to.
Okay. Is it feeling that bad?
Said I'm tired.
Okay, good. Yeah, she's still recovering. First, second, and skip to 9th edition. Damn. I mean, I was like 3rd to 4th, mainly 4th, 5th, a bit of 6th, and I know people said 10 was, they like 10 more than 11, but I can't really not talk about that. It's just one of those, people like different things. Okay, so, I think we can still do something for like the last hour. How about we just switch over to a bit of pew pew, stuff like that. Which can we just talk? But yeah, hope you all enjoyed that we you know, hunted some more Rathalos, maybe tomorrow more. That I have a ruby, you might have a ruby too soon. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here. We will literally be right back, so do not turn off. The stream will end in a second and then restart, and then we can just talk for like an hour or so again. See you all around then, and see you tomorrow. Bye!